Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For today's preview, as Cardiff take on the Sharks, who are looking to try, much like the Bulls, to go back-to-back victories and sort of get their URC campaign back onto track. A very impressive performance last weekend from the Sharks up against Ospreys, and they continued to play against Welsh oppositions this weekend as they take on Cardiff, who will sort of be still sort of wondering what exactly happened after sort of crumbling against the Bulls last weekend, after having them in a very sort of tight situation. Very interested to sort of see how these two teams go about it. A couple of changes for the Sharks side, a couple of changes for the Cardiff side as well, and should be a really good clash. We'll be live for every single South African game. Well, we'll be live during those times. Unfortunately, we can't do the Stormers and the Lions game at the same time because they are at the same time. So we'll be doing the Lions game there, but we will be live for the Sharks game. We will be live for the Bulls game tomorrow night. So come and hang out with us then. Before we look at the two teams for this weekend, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. In terms of how the teams will line up, we'll start with Cardiff side, who are obviously the home side. A couple of changes to the Cardiff side, and especially in the front row. Reece Kerr gets a start, as does Dylan Lewis. So two new props and all new front row for Cardiff, and they both sort of packed down next to Curry Myhill. Steph Davies and Roy Thornton will be the lock combination. Josh Turnbull starts the number 6 jumper and will captain the side. He's got Ellis Jenkins and Will Boyd who comes to the side for company in that loose trio, which will have to be quite good because I think the Sharks have got a lot of loose forwards, and that's kind of one of their sort of their major sort of it's any sort of South African side, isn't it? You look at every single South African side, and their loose forwards are often their trump card and their sort of pride and joy. And you need to have to be quite good in the loose against the Sharks, because when play does get a little bit broken up, they've got a lot of players that really sort of enjoy doing that. And the likes of a Dylan Richardson, for example, this weekend at PHEPSI Buthelezi, they'll enjoy having a bit of space and a bit of broken up play to sort of get into. The halfback combination is Tomo Williams and Reece Priestland, though. For Cardiff, Josh Adams shifts onto the, starts at number 11. Willis Halaholo, Owen Lane in the centres. Owen Lane shifting from the wing. Then Aled Summerhill on the other wing. Then Matthew Morgan starting at fullback. Off the bench, Christian Dacey, Reece Gill, and Dimitri Arup will be the replacement front row. Teddy Williams and Shane Lewis-Hughes. And then you've got Lloyd Williams, who this weekend is sitting on the bench. Ben Thomas and Hallam Amos. Hallam Amos actually just announced his retirement at the end of the season for rugby. He will be pursuing a career in neuroscience, having completed his medical degree. Somebody who's Welsh captain and a very good player, leaving it early at 27 years old, but wanting to sort of pursue a different path, which is quite interesting. For the Sharks this weekend, though, they welcome back Captain PHEPSI Buthelezi, who will continue to lead the side in the absence of Lukhanyo Ami, who's obviously away with the Springbok squad, which will be announced next week, Tuesday, by the way. It's just come out that the announcement will come early next week. So in the front row, it's an unchanged front row from last weekend. In Tukum Kunu, Kieran van Vuuren and Thomas de Toy. Ruben van Heerden and Hiron Andrews continue their lock combination, but Dylan Richardson comes in for James Fento, who drops down to the bench. Henko Fento swaps the number 8 for the number 7 as Grant Krobler drops down to the bench, and PHEPSI Buthelezi gets a start. Ruan Pienaar will continue his combination with Buddha Chamberlain, who had a very Buddha Chamberlain game last weekend in terms of somebody who's just a little bit inconsistent, which sort of comes with his age, but he was tremendous last weekend, slotting drop goals, controlling the game, looked very good. The question has always kind of been with him is, can he sort of replicate that form? Can he sort of put through that in extended run? Because he's a very talented player, Buddha Chamberlain, who can turn the heat up when he wants to. But just has struggled for a little bit with consistency. But hopefully with sort of a longer run in the number 10 jersey, can sort of start to bring that to his game. Anthony Folmick swaps from fullback to the wing to make way for Curran Bosch. Minus Porkitas on the other wing, and Murray Costa comes into the side at inside centre. He will partner Jeremy Ward, who was very impressive last weekend at outside centre. Off the bench, Dan Justa Quizimona, and then Vian Herbst comes into the side. Grant Krobler, James Venter, and Reno Hugo sort of complete that sort of the 6-2 split. And then Tian Meyer comes into the side ahead of Sinan Nahamba. Werner Kok is the utility back for the Sharks. I think the Sharks definitely can go out and beat Cardiff. And I think if they'll have looked at that Bulls game, and they were actually there. They were there. A lot of them were supporting the Bulls. And I think that they, mentally will be in a very good space. I think on a Friday night, they went out, they beat Ospreys. The next day, they saw the Bulls stage a very impressive comeback up against Cardiff. And they would have seen that game. They would have seen aspects of the game that they can try and target. And I think that the Sharks will be sitting there thinking, if we can get a victory here and come back to South Africa with 2 victories, that's not a bad tour. 50% win on tour is not terrible for the Sharks. And I think that we know that this is a side that will get the most Springboks back. They're sort of set to become probably one of the strongest squads, and probably the strongest squad in the country. And I think that it comes to a time where if they can start getting results without their big Springboks, that kind of sort of shows that they're quite a dangerous side and a side to look out for. But let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. Do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Steven. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.